I hosted a live webinar for online fitness coaches that want to build their personal brand, get better at making content, and learn how to turn viewers from social media to paying clients. We covered everything from what coaches do wrong to picking a moment over a demographic, and even the entire customer journey timeline from the moment that they land on your page to becoming a paying client. Everything in this webinar is actionable. You can take your first steps now. And if you want to sign up to the Identity Lab because you like what I'm talking about, the link's going to be put down in the caption when we're ready to go. So enough of me talking, here's the masterclass. It gets a bit stressful with the mentors and stuff like that, and what they're trying to tell everyone to do. And it's not stuff that you have to do, because it's nothing that I ever did to grow my coaching business. I've never called the end. I've never forced anyone into jumping on the program. I've just tried to be as authentic as possible, like with my messaging and who I am and my personal branding. And it's not really a route that's been looked down. So someone needed to come in and talk about that kind of stuff. So that's where I come in. My background is in media, so you probably see my little thing at the start of the page. I did all right. I got triple distinction in creative media in college. I was working with, like, I don't know if anyone's heard of King of the Hills TV, but if you know SBTV, that was like, King of the Hills was like the northern version of that. So I was filming music videos and stuff for like rappers up north and doing the SBTV sort of thing. And then I ended up getting quite a few jobs, like filming Snoop Dogg and like just doing a lot of that kind of cool stuff and being around loads of rappers. Big Nasty as well. Created Big Nasty's most liked Twitter post in like 2012 or something, which was just like a graphic thing of him. So that's where my background was. And then I went to uni in America. I went to San Diego State, and all we were doing was partying and drinking and not really studying, and obviously just banging the gym every day. So I was like, I'm not really interested in this stuff anymore. I want to just get hench. So that's when I came back to England, and I said, nah, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to be massive, and I want to help other people get in shape and stuff like that. So dropped out of uni, got all my personal training qualifications, worked multiple jobs, and then built that up. And now we're kind of seeing like a full circle effect coming back to the media stuff. But it's good because I've got the best of both worlds. I'm not just coming to you as like a business mentor or whatever. I'm coming to you as a coach that's been through the grind, that's had those fucking hard days, that's been fucked over by mentors, that's been fucked over by clients as well. So I know how it feels, and I know what the moment you potentially can be in. But the best way that I've always found is just being unapologetically you online, and people will buy through that more than anything else. So it's about building a personal brand. So that's how we get strangers to buy our stuff. So let's move on to this next one. Today we want to just figure out why content isn't really connecting. We want to understand how to brand ourselves so the content starts to feel easy. We want to learn the simple systems that I use to get followers into clients. And obviously you're all going to leave with a 4-week action plan as well that you can start today. And as well, I'll give a brief overview on the Identity Lab and what kind of stuff's in there. So hopefully you'll be going away from this with a lot of knowledge and stuff that can help you. So what if your current followers were enough? Everyone wants to chase followers all the time, but going viral sometimes isn't the right thing for you. I've gone viral multiple times, even just last week, not even last week, 2 days ago, said something about Tommy Fury and I went viral. I've got a shit ton of followers from it, but will those potentially turn into clients? Maybe, some of them will do, but sometimes it can just give you loads of shit followers that don't engage with your profile, that kind of push your engagement rates down. And engagement rates want to be the thing that we're focusing on most when we're posting on social media. How many people can we get to comment on our posts? How many people can we get to, like I said, play the game? How many people can we get commenting? How many people can we get liking? Like, just test different ways to do that, because your current followers are enough. You don't need those outside people. 3,000 people, even if you've only got 3,000 people, that's a lot of people still. There's going to be what do you need to run a business? 30 of them, 40 of them, 50 of them, and you got 3,000. You can tap into that easy. It's it's such a small conversion rate, but it's just about getting them to actually connect with you. They're the warmest leads that you've got. So don't keep trying to run down cold leads. Focus on the ones that you've got, making them happy and making them feel a part of something. Because where a lot of coaches go wrong, always posting last minute, stressful. I know it is. You've got no clear message, no brand voice. You're just saying, oh yeah, I'll just post this today. You're speaking at so many different things, being the everything person, the everything coach. Followers are obviously engaging or buying. You're overthinking every single post, which is kind of, it's something that I see a lot, because you're watching other people online and you're watching what they're doing, and these big coaches, mentors might be telling you that you need to post what these big coaches are posting or whatever like that. But that might not work for you, especially when you're working with maybe a smaller field. These big coaches might have like a bigger audience. When you've got a smaller audience, you just need to really tailor your stuff to that smaller audience. What works for a bigger audience won't work for a smaller audience. It's going to be much more valuable for you to create a really tight-knit community with those small followers that you do have. Talking to everyone, reaching no one, no system, inconsistent posting. I've been there as well. So how the personal brand changes that, it changes your random posts to clear messages, what your values, what's your voice, what's your beliefs, putting that out there. Make sure you instantly recognizable in your niche. It builds trust faster than any script will build, because it's real, it's authentic, and that's what people want. And that's what Instagram is pushing right now. Instagram's pushing personal branding more than anything. Like, they want you to tell your stories. They want people to like be social on social media, because we went through a big phase of it just being fucking advertisements and business mentors and like gurus that show you driving the Ferraris, and everyone would love that. They'd be like, Ferrari driving, moving out to Dubai, I earn this amount per month, and everyone loved watching the lifestyle. That was kind of the lifestyle era of social media, so people would then buy into those gurus from that. But then I don't know what happened. Maybe a lot of people got fucked over by them type of people. They didn't want to see it anymore, and I know Instagram didn't want to really push it too much anymore in terms of their direction and how they wanted the social media platform to go. So now they're wanting real raw creators. That's why sometimes you'll notice, if you do have professional content and content you shot on your phone, the content that you shot on your phone will normally do better than your actual professional content. And I did a reel where I reacted to one guy who was saying that he's a professional photographer, videographer, and he was like, if you do put your professional stuff on Instagram, then maybe hook it with something that's shot on a phone. I've seen loads of people doing that, loads of music artists, even people that go to the gym. You might have seen it where they start the hook like it's a phone video or like a selfie video or a shit quality video, and then they'll go into the actual professional footage, because people don't want to be sold to. People want to be maybe entertained and stuff on Instagram. They don't want to feel like they're being sold to. So you've got to sell to them in a way that doesn't make them feel like that, and doesn't seem salesy and addy. Because we got to make selling feel natural and not pushy, because that's how you're going to get clients that retain as well. Your retention rates are going to be higher because you're not pushing anyone. People are coming to you rather than you feel like, oh yeah, I've got this offer going on, I'm trying proper harsh selling them. Yeah, well, if you don't lose this weight, you're going to die next week or some shit. I don't know what they tell you to sell in the sales scripts, but that's literally what they tell you to make you feel like a piece of shit. Whereas when someone comes to sign up with me, I'm kind of like, if you don't want to sign up with me, then fairs. It's your problem, that's not my problem. You kind of make them feel like they're missing out on something. Like, I don't go from the approach of making them feel shit. I just say, fine, if you want to stay where you are, then you want to stay where you are. It's good with me. I'll give you a few tips on this call and you can go your way. Give it 4 weeks time. They'll be back. But I've not pushed them into it, and then they come in by themselves. And when someone's willing to come by themselves, they're going to work harder. They're going to give you better results rather than feel like they've been forced into it, pressured into it. You know, like when I see the posts on Instagram all the time, where it's like sales closes and stuff, and it's like, oh, I need to go speak to my wife, and the guy's like, why do you need to go speak to your wife? Do you not have any balls or some shit like that? I just say, go speak to your wife then, all cool, whatever. It's more of a relaxed approach to selling, but in the long term, that's the long game. The long game is always going to be a lot more sustainable for your business rather than the short game, because you don't want just a churn rate of clients all the time. That's one thing that I hated when I worked for a bigger company. So I worked for a bigger company where I was a coach, part of that team, in my early days, and we did a transformation challenge, and we'd run that like every 6-12 weeks or something. And I just got fed up with coaching because I was working with new people all the time. It was another 10, 15, 20 people coming through the door every 6 weeks. And I was fed up with it. I don't want to create new connections. I want to have those clients that stay with me 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, 4 years. And you can get that one. My longest standing client, yeah, I say this to people and they're like, what the hell? My longest standing client is a random 45-year-old Frenchman that I've never met. Ever. He's my longest standing client. He's been with me since I'm like 22 years old. And I think I'm actually finally going to go meet him in a few weeks. That's exciting. It feels like a catfish, you know? I've just spoke to him on FaceTime and like texted him for like 6 years of my life. I've never met him, but I should be flying over to France next month, so I'm going to meet him. I'm probably going to cry. But anyway, yeah. They're the type of clients that you want. What makes you memorable? So this is the type of stuff. A lot of people that I see post online, they're posting gym pictures, they're posting their offer, they're posting education. That's pretty much what all online coaches look like. They're just posting those same three things over and over again. But you've got to make sure that you've got layers to your brand. Your personality, 20%, your lived experience, kind of what you've done in your past. Your proof is obviously what you show, how you work with people, all that kind of stuff that you know actually know what you're doing. Your content lens is how stuff looks through your eyes, so your life in terms of content. You've got to look through everything with your content lens, so you can make content out of everything, just little things like your dog. I don't know. It doesn't have to be educational, that's what I'm trying to say, but just the world in your eyes. 10% is your tone, how you're speaking, how you're talking to people, how you're approaching the situations, and 5% is your offer. Because ultimately, everyone's got a fucking offer. You've seen me say that over and over again. The industry is so saturated. Everyone is offering the same stuff. We've got training plans, we've got diet plans. But what actually makes you different is all of these other stuff. What makes you memorable is all of these other stuff. So we don't just want to be hanging off the fact that we do training plans and diet plans, because AI does that now too. So like, what makes us really different? The personalization of it and the way that we approach situations and our values and our beliefs to everything. So when you're coming on social media, you're showing all of that, because all of that makes you memorable and then makes you that go-to person for them. You want to be that, you want someone to look at you and look at your content and go, this person's speaking to me, rather than just the generic gym pictures. Oh yeah, I'm selling you this now, and then I'm going to give you some education. Gym pictures, I'm selling you this now, I'm going to give you some education. No, you got full bunch of layers there that people can relate with. Oh, and this is something that not a lot of people talk about, but I think it's very, very important to focus on moment over demographic. Because business mentors or whatever might say you need to have your niche. Women, 30 to 40-year-old mums with busy family schedules or whatever. But me, I say pick a moment, because people feel moments more than just like a demographic. Like, all of you guys are in here not because you're coaches between the age of 25 and 30 years old that want to grow the business. You're all in here because you are struggling with content and you're just going through your camera roll and it's stressing you out and you don't know the best way to pick up more clients and you're just fed up with it. That's your moment. And I've caught you in that moment, and that's why you're here. That's your emotional drive. So that's how you need to be thinking when you're going after your clients. I'm going after clients in this business based off that moment. So I'll talk about that moment over and over again. I'll be the go-to person when someone needs to fix that moment. In my physique coaching business, you might notice, if I just pull up my Instagram profile now on my phone, in my bio, the cheat code for Stuck Gym Bros, doing everything right but still look mid. I'm him to help you look insane without guessing. So what's my moment there? What's my moment in that bio that I solve? There's a guy out there who thinks he's doing everything right and he still looks pretty shit. And that's the moment that I've got him at. So if I say I'm the one to help you out of that moment, then he's going to come to me. There might be other coaches that are like, oh, I can coach you to get in shape, I can coach you to, but they don't specifically say that they solve that moment. So you need to think, what is their moment? Kids have just gone back to school after summer. Now they're finally having time to focus on themselves again. Perfect time to start a fat loss phase before the holidays ramp up. Got another one here. Women's 25 to 35 young professionals. No. Holidays booked for January. They've realised they've only got 8 to 10 weeks to feel confident in a bikini, and the urgency is baking in now. So what do? You keep talking about that over and over again. Pick a moment and become the specialist for that moment. That's how you niche down in this day and age, because everyone's saying fucking men between 30 and 40 who already train. Everyone's saying that. So you need to find a moment. And there's enough people in this fucking world on Instagram, in your circles, that are struggling with that moment. Gym sessions are consistent, but they're not seeing visible changes. And they finally want to see abs after years of being skinny fat. Another one here. Men 20 to 30 regular gym lads in the gym. How many of you guys want to coach them people? Or say that's your niche demographic. But what's your moment? They're sick of being the weak one in the group chat. They want to bulk up, add some muscle, and look stronger by the new year. So you make content consistently around that talking point to fix that problem. And in your bios, you're setting up your bio so you're speaking to the moment. So as soon as someone comes on your page, they know the moment that you solve. They don't just see it saying, I help people lose weight. Because that doesn't tell them fuck all. There's 55 million other coaches with that exact same bio that are going to help you lose weight. But you're a special person for that one problem. So figure out what. Have we got a hand raise? Someone raise a hand. Does that mean we got a question? Don't know how to work this. Yo.
Sorry. So most people, when they do their bio, they do
Yeah.
it and forget about it forever.
Yeah.
So if you're doing a moment, how often are you looking to change your bio? So say like obviously getting fit for a new year. Are you changing it every quarter or something like that?
You potentially could be, because remember, there's new eyes coming to your page all the time. You want to have a base that you're kind of around. Like mine's not really time sensitive, so you can kind of pick a moment that's not time sensitive, but then make it time sensitive in 4 different seasons. So if you're talking about like, say, women who want to lose weight before Christmas, maybe you can target it to like creating room so that they can actually enjoy the Christmas markets and be in decent shape for New Year. Then coming into the summer, you can talk about like getting ready for a bikini, so you can still have a moment, because that moment still is, she might be looking in the mirror and going, fuck's sake, or he might be looking in the mirror and going, fuck's sake. So that's the moment, but then you can seasonalize that moment a little bit. So you could even just seasonalize the bio by adding the little season tag at the end, but the main base of it, the problem that you solve, just stays the same. You're looking in the mirror and you're like, oh, fuck's sake, I'm the person that's going to help you. You're looking in the mirror and saying, oh, fuck's sake, I'm not going to be ready to be in this bikini or these swim shorts. You can kind of seasonalize it, can't you? But the base moment stays the same. Yeah.
Cheers.
All right. Next one. So the customer journey timeline. Let me get this up. So this is what the customer journey timeline looks like. Looks a little bit complicated, because we don't want to be just posting random content. Like, it's not just a random decision when someone signs up to you. It's a full journey of discovery, exploration, consideration, decision, and then purchase. Each one of these steps is moving that person closer to buying from you. So you got the initial awareness when they come on your page, social media posts then come after that, curiosity, discovery, they start further exploring like what's going on your page, then they start interacting with content. As long as you're putting out interactive content, they might start interacting with it. Engagement and desire to learn, so then you'll see them start asking questions in your DMs, they might be commenting on your posts more, that's all this bit here, and then you drop a lead magnet, and then they start putting the name down for the lead magnet, so that they're coming into that consideration phase, and then they're starting to look, right, oh, have they actually helped anyone else? And they're starting to see the proof that you put out, and then you start building more trust with the proof and the further conversation, and then they start coming into the decision phase, which is when they're so close to buying now, which is where the email campaigns can really work well, because you're tapping away from Instagram. If Instagram maybe your main platform, you're also giving them tips. You're just popping up in their emails and they're reminded about you when they're going through their emails. You get their emails, by the way, from the lead magnet, if you didn't know that. So your lead magnet needs to be so fucking good and so full of value that people just want it. Oh, I'll grab that because it's free. And then you over-deliver. And when you over-deliver on a lead magnet, then they start thinking, ooh, well, if I got this for free, like, what if I actually paid this person? What do they know? But over-delivering your lead magnets, and I've got a 3 lead magnet strategy. That's what I usually say. Sometimes I do more than 3, but I'd say normally like a 3 lead magnet strategy where you've got 3 lead magnets, maybe a diet one, a nutrition one, a nutrition one, a nutrition one, a training one, and maybe like a mindset one. And you rotate through the 3 lead magnets throughout the week. So you're not just talking and pushing the same lead magnet. You might have one phase where you really want to focus on one. That's absolutely fine. But you've got multiple ones so you can offer, because one person might like that lead magnet and might be interested in that. Obviously, they're all solving the same moment, but the other person might want more nutrition guidance, more training guidance. If you can funnel as many people into that lead magnet as possible, then when it comes time for these email campaigns, you can have a shit ton of emails, so you can send stuff out and people are going to be there ready to purchase, ready to further explore. Confidence and excitement. So they're like, yeah, I'm going to buy now. They'll look proof again, just to make sure they're not wasting the money. So I'm like, let me just double check again, make sure this person actually knows what they're talking about. And then they'll come to you and they'll buy. And then you go into your onboarding and you bring them on board. So it's a full journey, and it starts from that moment. They come on your page and see that bio and see what moment that you solve. Can you solve the moment that they're in right now? And you bring them through this whole pathway. So social media posts, getting them to interact with your comments, prompting DMs in your stories as well. We'll go on to that in a sec. Prompting DMs in your story, wanting to learn more, picking up lead magnets, looking at your proof, seeing your emails, and then checking your proof again before the buy. But if you can just nail each step of this journey and make sure every single person that follows your page is on this journey, then you're in a good position for them to eventually purchase. So this is what I was talking about, prompting DM. So this is the engaged lead triangle. You might see me speak about this on Instagram. We got the stories, which sit right at the top. So stories are the main thing for bringing in people into this. You want to bring in as many people as you can into this triangle. The more people you have in this triangle, the better, because these people are all warm leads. So you prompt response on your stories, you drive people to engage, drop a like if this is you, and it might just be you on a morning like, oh, fuck's sake. It wants to be something personal as well, like you want to be showing your face on these, you want to be relatable, you just want behind the scenes stuff, you want people to see what you're actually like, and see that they can relate to you. Because it doesn't always have to be fitness. They might be laughing with you. They might be laughing at you. They might just be having a normal conversation about, you put something up about football, saying, fucking hell, Man United is shit. Yeah. And they're going to be like, yeah, I know they are. But that's a conversation that started. Even though it's not about coaching now, you've just brought them into the triangle. So when you do push more stuff about coaching, they'll be in that triangle now because you've had that conversation, you've warmed them up. So use your stories to warm people up and just do whatever you can to get people to like, to comment, to drop you a message from your story. Just engage conversation as much as possible, because then that'll go into the DMs like it says here. You'll nurture them then. Just have human conversation. Don't sell, just give. They're asking questions, giving. So I know business mentors and stuff might say, oh, don't give away too much free stuff because they'll never buy. But like I said, if your free stuff is good, they'll be like, fucking hell, if I paid this person, then imagine what they could give me. Because I know a lot of people as well, most of the people, decent people, they don't like to just take from you too. So they'll feel bad if they are taking from you. And they'll probably get to a point where they might take so much free stuff from you that they'll just end up paying you because they feel bad that they've just rinsed the fuck out of you in the DMs for the last month. But again, this is the long game, and the long game always keeps long clients, because that really, even if they have been rinsing the fuck out of you in the DMs, yeah, you've built that relationship. And if it's now, if it's next week, if it's in 4 weeks, 6 weeks time, when the time comes for them to actually pay a coach, they'll choose you because you've given them so much already. it doesn't matter if someone might be better than you over there or providing a better offer, it might be cheaper or whatever. They know they've rinsed you in the DMs. So when it is their time, they've actually got a bit of money for it, they'll be coming straight back to you. Feed posts, prompt response on feed posts as well, further engage leads, and then just keep them in that triangle. Because people feel more confident to comment on your feed posts when you have had a conversation with them in the DMs. And ask questions in your feed posts too. Don't just post and talk at people. Remember, say like, so I've got like 7,000 followers. To me, I'm speaking to 7,000 people, but that's only to me. To them, it's one-to-one, if that makes sense. Like right now, I'm speaking to 30 people, but to you, you're watching me alone, if that makes sense. So you've always got to remind yourself of that. So never start your things with, hi guys, hey everyone, what's good? You don't want them, you want them to feel like they're in a one-to-one conversation. And the more that they can feel like they're in a one-to-one conversation, the more they will engage with stuff and comment on stuff. So I'll ask questions. I'll be like, fucking hell, I've got an issue at the moment. Can you help me out with this? Just like I'm talking to a mate on FaceTime. I don't know whether I should skip this my cardio today because my knee's feeling fucked or whatever. And then people will jump in your comments because they feel like you was directly asking them that question, even though it went out to 7,000 people or whatever. So yeah, always remember, to you it's 7,000 people, to them it's one-to-one. And this is so important too, especially for coaches like us, because we got to be honest with ourselves. We're not the fucking top dogs of the industry. There's always better coaches, as with when you do anything. There's always better coaches than you. There's always better than people at whatever you're doing. But I go with kind of the approach of, if you can't beat them, you drown them. I'm going to post so much that I'm more visible than them. I'm going to be having so many more conversations than them that people see me more than they see them. Because it's all about human connection. That's how I'm going to pull people in. By human connection. Yeah, I'm a good coach, I know what I'm doing, but I am going to make sure that I'm more visible and you feel more connected to me than you do to them. Even though they might be more of a top dog coach, you'll feel more connected to me, so you'll come to me, because that's just what humans are like. So if you can't beat them, drown them. Post more, be more visible, comment on other people's posts, communicate, chat in the DMs, use social media to be fucking social, and drown people with, just be visible. If you see me over the last week, I've been posting 3 times a day on this account and 2 times a day on the other account. And yeah, it's been a graft, but it's all in a mission to bring people into calls like this and bring people onto coaching and stuff like that. And it does the job because I'm visible, like very visible. Because if I don't post, you won't see me, you won't take notice. So I've got to force you to take notice. So this is a story play as well. We obviously have different focuses. So when we're doing like normal stuff, everyday stuff, we want to be like doing 33% content promoting, 33% education, and 33% entertaining on our stories. So remember, we want to be driving people into our stories as much as possible. So promotion is like, share a recent client win, behind the scenes of like a check-in or a call, showing your systems, announcing spots listed in your coaching, educate, bust a common myth in your niche, answer a common client question in 2 to 3 slides, or just you can even just do one and just do a word, share a line from a recent post and expand on it, something that's done well. Always reuse stuff that does well, keep a note of it and do it again. We've got a play in the playbook in the lab called the story repurpose play, and that focuses on when you notice a story does well. Sometimes you'll get loads of likes on a story or loads of people responding to a story. Now after this, when you go away and start focusing on your stories more and you start looking at them, what gets more likes, what gets loads of views, what gets loads of responses, note what that was about and then make that into a feed post. Don't just save it and put it up on your feed, but whatever you was talking about in that story that did so well, people obviously want to hear it that are in your triangle. So expand on it a little bit more and put it on the feed. Entertainment posts is like training clips, memes, behind the scenes, just like normal, what's going on in your life. So yeah, 33, 33, 33. When you're doing a launch, you want to push promoting up to 50%, educating down to 20%, and entertaining up to 30%. And then after you've done your launch, you bring that promotion down to 10%, obviously, because you've already sold at that point. Bring the education up to 50%, and then put your entertain at 40%. You want to be posting 4 to 7 stories a day is probably a nice sweet spot without overdoing it for people. So we're almost at the end now, guys. Thank you for listening. Where do you start? Now we get to the action points. What can you actually do? So define your story. What got you here, what you've achieved, and why people should care. So first point for everyone, I usually say, think about you when you first started the gym. Where did you first start? What stupid shit did you do? Just write it all down. What did you think? I used to wonder, everyone used to have these like luminous liquids in the drinks, and I didn't know what it was. I thought it might have been pre-workout. So I started like drinking pre-workout, intra-workout, because I was like, everyone else is doing that. I didn't know that it was like BCAAs at that point. I didn't have a clue. I was just like, it must be pre-workout. I didn't know any other supplements or anything. So I started doing that, and then I realized what it was, because I spoke to someone in the gym and I said, what's that green shit in your drink? And he was like, oh, it's EAAs. It does this, 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 and that. So then I started using that. But I can tell that story as an educational post, and people are going to relate to it more, and feel it more, because it's a true personal story. So think about all those little personal stories that you'll have about stupid shit that you did right at the start, and tell those stories, because there's going to be so many other people in that moment, that starting moment right now, that will have the same questions, and you can then show them that you know the answers, you overcame them. So you think about what you did and how you overcame them, and then you can target that person, basically a younger version of you, the beginner version of you. That's the easiest person to target, because you've been through all of those stuff, and you've overcome them and come out good on the other side, and look at where you are now, like being a coach. Lock in your brand core, so your values, your messaging, your niche moment that sets you apart. You don't want to be a coach for everyone. You want to be a coach for one single person. Those that are a coach for everyone don't have clients, because if you're loved by everyone, you've got no one fully fucking locked in. You need some people to hate you. I know a lot of people probably hate me and the way that I speak about shit, but that's great, because if people don't like you, then it means that you stand for something. And those people that do like you, they then double down on you 10 times. Yeah, so the business mentors will be fucking hating me for a lot of the shit that I'm saying, yeah? But you guys that have had fucked up experiences are like, yeah, go get him! And that's what gives me and you the connection. So that's the kind, you want people to fucking hate you, so those people that do really, like, get what you're saying, they'll ride or die for you, yeah? That's the kind of emotion that we want. We don't just want to be trying to please everyone. So don't ever be afraid. Remember, this is your coaching business. You're not wrong. You're never wrong. There's no right way to do fitness. I've been doing this for so long, and I've started to realize that over the last 2 years. There is literally no right way. You can do this whatever way that you want. That's why I don't even have a training plan now myself. I'll just go in and I'll train how I like and stuff like that. And I work off, even though a lot of bodybuilders now need set training programs, I'll work off macros, just because I want to do that. I realize it's not that deep. It's really not. There's no right way to do it. You've just got to tell people the way that you do it. And some people might disagree. Don't be scared if people are going to come on your post and say, yeah, well, the science says this. I got to the point now where I've just said, I don't fucking care. I'm bigger than you and I don't care. And I know that's a kind of shitty argument, but it's also true. I've got to this point. I obviously know what I'm talking about, so shut the fuck up. Like, I don't even entertain that stuff anymore. So stand really strong and firm in what you believe in, because you are right. There's no wrong answers. Obviously, you can be a fucking idiot, like, but that's on the extreme ends. But we're talking within reason here. Right, map your content. So you can use the identity method, content calendar, which will be in the lab. So I'll put that up as a resource so you guys can use it. So you're not just going whatever to post every single day. You want to make sure you're trying to plan a month ahead, at least have some writing down a month ahead, so you've got some base ideas, so you're not just going into it blind. And ideally create some evergreen content that can last forever. So evergreen content is the stuff in your camera roll that you can use all the time. So if I scroll back, I've got so much footage and stuff on my camera roll. So like I've showed you this on my stories before. But anyway, I went to Aldi, and we're in there for ages, and I was just taking pictures and videos. There they all are. And this is just top tier evergreen content because it can just last forever. I filmed those and videoed these in June. I can post them in December and no one's going to know that I didn't make them in December. But I went and filmed a little short clip and got a 0.5 kind of picture of literally everything that I'd buy in a shop. And I can make that into a tips post. I can make that into a carousel. I can just make, so you want to think about how much B-roll can I get? How much of this evergreen stuff can I get that'll just sit about and I can always make content out of it? So yeah, map your content and try to be a little bit planned with it and get ahead of yourself. That's super, super important. Like to start taking it seriously and play the game. Number 4, post some videos that show your proof, perspective and personality. So kind of spoke about that, just creating content. Number 5 is your engaged lead triangle. Spoke about that. So pulling people into that after you're creating content, and then it's just a big loop of just keep doing this shit over and over and over again. And then engagement to sales. So by now, selling isn't sales it. It's just naturally the next step for your warm leads because you've taken them through the journey. You've ticked all the boxes. Remember the journey flow thing? You've done everything. You've engaged them. You spoke to them in the DMs. You've given them a lead magnet. You've shown that there's proof. You've then started emailing them, and then you spoke to them more in the DMs, gave them more proof. They've been through a whole journey with you now. So when it comes to selling to them, it should be very, very easy. You shouldn't have to force them because they trust you a lot now because of everything that you've given to them. So yeah, keep giving. Right, questions time now before we finish it off. If anyone's got any questions, then please raise your hand. Thank you for taking the time to watch. After this, we just answered some of the questions that people who were watching live had. We went through a few more actionable bits and gave everyone a 4-week action plan, which if you're signing up to the lab, you'll be able to find it in the resources section. Week 1, we focus about internal prep. Week 2, we focus on feed posts. Week 3, we focus on story posts. And then week 4, we look at analyzing everything that's gone on, what went well, what didn't. So maybe I'll see you in the lab. Hopefully I will. Subscribe.